Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing at Ferrari and Ford Challenge Cup Championship, rounds 9 and 10 at the Nurburgring. My name is King-Kodiak and I will be your commentator throughout this evening's race, and joining me once again is the man, the legend, that is Phil McFillan.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me once again. It's been a pleasure doing this with you. It's a shame you were not here last week. There were some issues, but you're back, and that is great news.
I am back indeed, and I can't wait. Yes, it was unfortunate that I had to miss out on last week's race. So I'm trying a slightly different arrangement for overlays and whatnot. You should see those watching the stream or watching the recording later, you should see the timing screen in the bottom left-hand corner. We are currently looking at Henrik Andre, who's a newcomer to this league. He is partnering Stevie in the green, white and red Ferrari, who was just coming across the line to start his qualifying lap, I believe. I currently have no timings on the oh, he's overcooked it into turn one. Oh dear, that's not going to help at all. I've got no timings on my screen at the moment. You see the same thing, Phil? I just want to make sure that
qualifying, yeah, there are no timings.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you might just want to go. You might want to go live. I think you're currently in replay of it. You're a bit behind me. So if you want to fast forward that up to catch up to the live timing.
Oh, okay.
You'll know how to do it. It's on the main iRacing overlay. The classic old boring.
Oh, I am. Yes, you're absolutely right. Live. I was. No, it looked like I wasn't very far behind, but I am live.
Literally about a second. Watching it go and lock up after I did. I know what's going to happen.
So let's have a look at who we've got in the session. We have got Yannick Nienhuis in the orange and white Ferrari. We have got 94 Nick Carroll in the blue and white Ferrari as well. Milo Linford in his... He was in a Ford last time, was he not?
Yeah, pretty much everyone has chosen.
It's gone Ferrari, yeah. Oh, it's gone Fords? Ferrari, aren't they?
Ferraris. Everyone's gone from the Ford to the Ferrari. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
from one name, Kieran Fishlock, still in the Ford, the only one in the Ford, having a good time.
Silvio Hertz in the orange and white Ferrari. They're just coming across the line. Dennis Anlauer was on track. Aha! I'm starting to see some times coming. Adam Hitchcock in the pink and black Ferrari there, just coming down to turn one. We have got Christoph Weitz in the tiger-coloured Ferrari then. He's just coming across the line as well. Patrick Heinrich, pretty much at the same point. He's coming to a slow halt. He's coming to a halt. So he's also in the tiger-coloured Ferrari. Søren Krutz in a white and striped Ferrari then. He has just gone through. He's heading down to turn 6 and 7, I think, if I recognise the track correctly. Yes, he is. Lawrence de Rijk. Oh, big lock up there into turn 1. He continues on his merry way. He set a 151.698. Now this, of course, this overlay that you're seeing here in the bottom left doesn't change because this is looking at track position as opposed to qualifying position, so will not rearrange itself. Although the positioning on the left, you can currently see Patrick Heinrich in the pole position, the only man I can see so far that's broken 150. Those positions are correct, but the actual ordering is not ordered so at the moment. Lucas Dalza is with us, also in the tiger-coloured Ferrari. He is currently qualified in third position. Alexander Waldo is with us in the bright pink Force India flavoured Ferrari. Gunnar Nienhuis has set a time, but he is currently back in the pit. He is currently in fourth with that 156.31. Now, how do you pronounce this? There is a way of pronouncing it, and I can't remember. Car number 30. Car number 30. Jancy Jerry Lynn? Is that it?
That sounds like it would be. It was either Jancy or Jans.
Jans. Yeah.
No, I've done it. I've failed.
Apologies there for not getting you a no. That's an orange and blue Ferrari just coming across the line. No time currently on the board as yet. Stevie Chambers, also in the red, white and green Ferrari. He's just coming down to turn 1, car number 55, and he continues on his merry way. Evan Imran in the AOR blue and white, blue and yellow. I'm not colourblind, I assure you. he's just come through the Dunlop curve. He's continuing on his way. Currently 7th, 151.763. Knut Martinsen, his teammate, in 6th, 151.698. Very close between the AOR coloured Ferraris. Adam Tierney, also in the pink Force India flavoured Ferraris. That proves my trading paint's working, because I don't remember seeing that livery before this week. Car number 53, he's just coming around the final turn, so we'll keep an eye on where he appears. Sarah Dove is not on track, but is in the session. Stuart Atkinson, currently 18th. I don't think with a valid app as yet. Black and pink Ferrari for him, car number 77. Kieran Fishlock is not on track at the moment. You'll say he's the only one running a Ford. Is that right, Phil?
That is the case, yeah. And also, it's the Force India delivery again. Or actually, no, that's actually, I believe it's the Ford delivery that he's running.
Okie dokie.
It's actually closer to the Mercedes for the DTM.
Oh, nice. Ronnie Gibbons, currently 11th. He has abandoned his Ford. He's in the RSR white and blue flavoured Ferrari. Car number 11, currently 12th. And Rick Andre, as we saw earlier, is currently in 21st, setting another lap. Andrew Langham. Andrew Langham's service. Interesting name. And there he is. Also in that blue and white Ferrari. Currently in 11th position with a 152.472. Roland Kutas in the red Ferrari in 18th position, 153.988. Gianni Vecchio has actually stolen the top spot in the Tiger Ferrari. We have got just over 2 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. So he currently remains in the pits, and that is his qualifying done. And John Roberts. Now I've got a blank Ferrari. There we go. Just as I say, I've got a blank Ferrari. His skin's just appeared. The black and green coloured Ferrari, then he's just coming across the line. And I don't get a time for him yet, so maybe he is starting his. So that is your full field this evening.
Very good.
Thank you. So who should we pick up then? Dennis Anlauer's just coming across the line. He remains in 18th position, I believe. Christoph Weitz, where is he? He's just coming across the line as well. Does he improve from third? No, he's pulling over. He remains in that position. So the top positions are the Tiger Ferraris once again. Soren Kreutz. Someone's just having a bit of a rev there, as is Lawrence de Rijk. Lucas Dolzer currently in fourth. So the top four positions at least. He's having a practice start at the end of the pit lane there. As we have 1 minute to go of this qualifying session. Yanji, let's follow car number 30 then, as they've just gone through. I think it was the Schumacher S's, so it's 10-11, the Kumo curve. Yep, that's 10-11 they're coming through now. Bit curve, turn 12. It's a very steady application of the throttle then, as they now start to come back up the hill through the fast right-hander of the Hatzenbach's Borgen, turn 13. Up to the very tight chicane, although that's the endurance version of it, I believe. That's slightly less sharp, the Vidal 14-15, and then the final turn 16 then to come and set a time. Let's see where Hyunshi appears. And that is in 25th position with a 157.612. So, assumingly there was a mistake on that particular lap, but that is qualifying over and done with them. And we will get a confirmation of everyone's position as soon as we can get it to you. There we go. So I think my overlay has actually corrected itself. Yes, it has, although it's being upset by people coming onto track for some reason. Well, we have 25th, 1st, 2nd, 26th, 3rd, and downwards. So, with the exception of certain names that I don't know why the overlay is doing that. It's probably because, again, the overlay is looking at physical track position, and of course some people have just obviously, as you can see here, they have sort of left the pits essentially, so they've put themselves in a physical position, hence why their names are white as opposed to grey. So that's a bit of an unusual one. But Adam Hedgecock is actually listed as the pole. As pole time. I didn't.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't see that actually.
I know who. I can run through the.
Please do, because this overlay is going utterly nuts.
Okay. So I've only got a minute to do this, but let's see what I can do.
Go for it.
on the front row we have Gianni Vecchio taking the pole with 49.522, with his teammate Patrick Heinrich in second. Christoph Weitz and Lucas Dolzer round out row number 2. Gunnar Nierenhuis and Lawrence de Rijk, the Dutch team, or the Dutch partners, not teammates, but Dutch. He's there on the third row. Adam Tierney and Knut Martinsen round out row number 4. That's a good performance by Knut. And Knut's teammate Evan Imre in 9th, with Soren Kruse in 10th. Andrew Langham Service, new to the grid, new to the race, and 11th, so good for him. Ronnie Gibbons in 12th. Yannick Nierenhuis and Milo Linford, 13th and 14th. Stevie Chambers and Enric Andre, teammates, 15th and 16th. Sarah Dove and Dennis Anlau, 17th, 18th, with Sylvia Hurt and Roland Kutas, 19 and 20, Kieran Fishlock, 21, Adam Hedgecock, 22, Stuart Atkinson, 23, Alexander Waldo, 24, Jancy, Jerry Lynn, 25, and John M. Robertson, Nick Cowan round at the back with no time set.
So as we now get... Oops, that's one of the Ferraris creeping forward. That was third position. Lucas Dolzer creeping forward slightly early, but we've now got this race underway. Is Lucas going to incur a penalty for that? Because he did essentially jump the start.
I think he jumped. There's a little bit of tolerance in these cars. Or not these cars, just in iRacing. But yeah, that's Christoph Weitz, who's fallen a bit back after starting in third position.
There we go. The overlay should now be working to display people in the correct order. I don't know why it was sorting it slightly differently. So Gianni Vecchio still holding on to that lead. Patrick Heinrich 2, Lucas Dolzer, as we're looking at, in third. Gunnar Nierenhuis now 4th. Lawrence de Rijk 5, Adam Tierney 6, Christoph Weitz, and yeah, he's fallen down to 7th. With Knut Martinsen 8th, Evan Imre 9, and Roddy Gibbons, he's already climbed a couple of positions to get into the top 10. The top 4 then have broken away a little bit from the pack. The 3 Tiger Colour Ferraris and that orange-white Gunnar Nierenhuis of Ferrari there. They've just come through the Dunlop curve. Wow, they really have broken away a bit from the pack. Look at that! Look at that! If we look at Lawrence de Rijk, he leads he leads pretty much the entirety of the rest of the field.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to do something. Yeah, that's a really big gap that has already broken out. You've got actually the Tiger Colours pulling away, but you've got Gunnar joining them as well. So just to make it a little bit different up front there.
Oh, and that was Lawrence de Rijk getting a little bit too deep into the Kumo curve. Then that was Christoph Weitz had to take a bit of action there to avoid avoid some impact. Let's look at. No, let's try that one. No, I've still got to get used to the. That's the camera I was looking for. As Lawrence de Rijk has gone off, he has gone off at turn 14. So he's lost a few positions. And now rejoins. He's now down in 9th.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of fireworks between Christoph Weitz and Lawrence there going into the final chicane. So yeah, looked like a fun little one there.
Oh, again, Lawrence de Rijk is drawing up alongside Evan Imre, but he's not going to get that move done from that particular angle. Can he get the inside at turn 2? Oh, that's very, very close. Well read there by Evan to give the necessary racing room. Looks like Lawrence is going to get the inside at turn 3, and he does. That is now a position gained up to 8th position for Lawrence.
Yeah, he's just got to be a bit careful in the exit here, because he had to go a little bit deeper into the hill. It looks like he's just going to be okay and hold it on. Obviously, that's one of the nice little features of that corner, the switchback nature that you can possibly get if you're trying to overtake into the first part. You do have to go deep, and then that compromises your exit. But Lawrence doing a good job to hold on to it there.
Looking back from Lawrence's car, that is the nose of Evan Imre for 9th position, so he's very, very close to he's certainly keeping that pressure on. But if we have a look back up the front, then Gianni Vecchio and Patrick Heinrich have slightly broken away from 3rd and 4th, Lucas Dolzer and Gunnar Nierenhuis, but that's all very, very close together, as you would rather expect of the Tiger Ferraris, as they have just come through 11 and 12, heading down towards 13. Patrick, as we've seen time and again in this series, his abilities as a racer, and Gianni Vecchio won a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? If I recall.
He certainly did. I mean, these two right now are the class of the field in this race particularly. The only two to get into the 49 qualifying, pretty much almost. No car was closer than 7/10.
Wow.
So these two are the ones to watch in terms of winning this race, and you do wonder who it's going to be though, because they are very close on pace, and you can see they're very close on track.
Incredibly close then as they come through turn 1. So Patrick in a position to keep that pressure on. Gianni knows he's got the pace to keep him behind, but how long is he going to keep him there for? Each time that interval is just getting shorter and shorter. The best lap of the race does currently lie, I think, with Patrick Heinrich of 150.023 at the moment, as far as I can see. I'm not 100% sure whether that was a valid lap, as his best is still blank for some reason on the overlay. So I don't know whether there's... Well, it was an invalid lap.
It was a slightly invalid lap. Yeah, you do occasionally get those. He has picked up a couple of incidents already, so that's a couple of off tracks. So that would have been the reason why.
A shame, but even the greats make mistakes. As we are looking back then from Gianni Vecchio's car. Oh, crikey, he was close to going off the Schumacher S's there, but kept it on track, using every available inch that is available to him. And still keeping the advances of his teammates at bay. Back to the TV cameras, who else shall we see then? If we jump back to Lucas Dolzer, he has managed to break away a little bit from Gunnar Nienhaus to a position where he can concentrate on attacking more than defending. So that should help him try and close in on the top two. Who else is fairly close? Evan Imre is still fairly close to Lucas de Rijk, and who also has Andrew Langham Service right behind him. And Soren Kurtz right behind them as well. Again, you've got a chain. 7th, what we've got? So that is 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th, all in that train here. All fighting his position, and that's Ronnie Gibbons having a look on the inside at final turn. He's going to get that position. He's got a great drive, and nicely done then. It was retaking that 10th position from Soren Kurtz. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Jumps up to, as you say, into that turn. 10th position.
Oh, someone's going slowly. Someone's... I swear I just saw someone going slowly, but I haven't... I don't know whether... Might have been Knut Martinsen was suddenly going slowly. I say it look... Oh! I think... Oh dear! Problem! We've got trouble then.
That is a big problem.
That's a very big problem. Then Lawrence de Rijk got into a bit of bother then. That's Stevie Chambers in there. No, he's managed to get through. Ronnie Gibbons has fallen through the field. He was the initial contact, I think, on Lawrence de Rijk's car. Oh dear, so that's going to be damage for Ronnie to have to deal with. He's under pressure by Adam Hitchcock, who I initially thought was in pole at one point. So make this slightly wider so we can see the times properly. There we go. So dear, disaster then for Lawrence de Rijk. He's retired. Lawrence de Rijk is out.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. He just came out of turn 2 and just dipped it onto the AstroTurf on the right. That spun him round over across the grass, and then this car is notoriously difficult to get going again. So unfortunately for the guys behind, Evan I think hit him first, and then Ronnie tried to avoid but got hit, and I think Soren possibly went slightly into the back of Ronnie as well. So that's 3 cars that got a little bit of, well, 4 cars including Lawrence that had a little bit of contact there, and that's going to really affect a lot of those guys. Their cars are going to be quite a bit damaged on the front end, I would suspect. But yeah, shame for Lawrence to be out, but those things can happen here. Oh dear,
well, indeed, yes. And you can see the damage actually on the front of Evan's car there on that particular shot. If we go to this camera, you will see that his left front tyre there is a little bit more exposed than certainly Evan would like it to be. So that's the damage he is carrying. However, switching back to the front, this battle continues then for the lead. Patrick Heinrich in second, Gianni Vecchio in first. These two are going to be locked in battle until that checkered flag falls. It's a short race in this one. It is 11 laps long. We are on lap 5 of it. Thankfully the timing overlay tells me that, so I don't have to keep pestering Phil for that one. So the next close battle we've got, as we just saw, was Andrew Langham Service on Evan. Beyond that is Honoric Andre, now in 10th position after the tripping up of Lawrence de Rijk and Ronnie and such like. So he's now up into the top 10. But he has got Yannick Nienhaus for company. Oh, he's gone off! That is a commentator's curse that has struck our newcomer. Honoric Andre is falling through the field. He's taken a road cone with him. He's down to 15th. He's back underway again. I mean, though it is very easy to overcook it through 6 and 7. But he is back underway again. Just something.
Yeah, it was a little interesting. He just lost the rear end coming into the braking zone. Although I say that, he just clipped the outside grass. Actually, that'll be what it is. Easy to do on that corner. I've done it a few times myself whilst trying to drive this car around here. Difficult.
As we've lost quite a few cars by the look of the overlay here. Dennis Anlauer is in the pits, although essentially is 3 laps down, so it's essentially retired. Lawrence de Rijk, as we know. Christoph Weitz we've lost, I think. Oh no, Christoph Weitz is going. The overlay's getting a bit confused. No, we have only actually lost 3, which is Dennis Anlauer, Lawrence de Rijk, Stuart Atkinson is not running. Or is he? Yes, he is. Again, the overlay is getting completely confused. Keeps telling me these guys up here are out of the race when we know they're not. And suddenly Knut Martinson's in the lead. No, there we go. The overlay's correctly reported it. This overlay's going completely bonkers. I'm not sure what's going on there.
You know, it's interesting you say we've lost Christoph Weitz. Because do you know what happened?
What's that?
He's come into the pits from the 5th position that he was running.
Oh dear.
He's come into the pits. So that's... I wonder if... I mean, you said we saw someone creeping off the line and then... So I wonder if that was Christoph Weitz. I don't know.
Could be. I mean,
he just sort of came into the pits and then went again, which is...
I mean, it could be. I mean, he's one of the Tiger Ferraris, which you don't expect to see down in 21st position, but that is where you find him, and he's rather much on his own there. His next challenger is Alexander Voldo, who is, a good 3.8 seconds ahead. So, I mean, Waldo finds himself on the back of quite a few cars there. Milo Linford, who's struggling a bit with the Ferrari, it would seem. He was doing his best with the Ford, but he's decided to ditch the Ford for the Italian mark. And he finds himself at the back of the 3-car train with Roland Kutas and Nick Carroll.
Yes, he does. I think, and these guys coming up, this 3-car train are coming up to a couple of guys that were involved in that Lawrence de Rijk incident. So there's potential there through moving up closer. I wonder if these guys are actually catching that group. I think they might be. I think they might be quicker than the guys up ahead. So we could be having ourselves a 7, 8-way, 9-way battle if Walra joins in, and then obviously Christoph Weitz, who is quick and will be joining these guys. There's no question on that. So that could end up being like a 10-car fight. Now Christoph Weitz, we know is quick. He's got 9 cars up ahead, all within about 8 seconds of where he is right now. Can he overtake all 8 or 9? It'll be an interesting one to see.
Oh, well, I mean, it certainly do. Oh, I just heard someone clunk into the... Oh, yes, we've got someone falling through the field. Oh, dear. Is that Sarah Dove and Silvio Hurt? Yes, it is.
I think it might have been...
Oh, John...
I think Sarah got caught up in it, but I think it was Enric just running into the back of Silvio Hurt there. And then, I think just a few people got caught up in it at the end. Soren once again, unfortunately.
I think actually, I think Honoric was actually away from that. Oh, yes, has finally caught up with Kieran Fishlock. He is indeed running the Force India flavoured Ford. It's the only Ford I've seen on the field. He's right with John Roberts. Sarah Dove has managed to get away from that particular pile-up then. Silvio Hurt is in that as well as I was going to say that's a Tiger King Ferrari, but it's not at all. That is the orange and white and black tail Ferrari there. Car number 107. Right, let's check in with our leaders then, if the overlay would give me the correct leaders.
I'm sure I could attempt to give you Gianni and Patrick.
I found Gunner, and there we go, there's Gianni. It keeps... I don't know what is going on here. When I tested this overlay out, it wasn't with a completely full server, admittedly, but it looked far more stable than it seems to be at the moment. So apologies for that. I will try and get that sorted out. I'm not sure what I can do with it, but I will see what I can do to hopefully make that a bit more useful, a bit more stable. So still leading the way then, Gianni Vecchio from Patrick Heinrich. The best lap of the race still 150.016 lies with the car number 68, current second position man Patrick Heinrich. So close to breaking 150. Third is with Lucas Dolce. He's got roughly 6 seconds down from Patrick then. Falling off the back of him is Gunnar Nienhuis. About 10 seconds back is the Force India flavoured Ferrari of Adam Tierney. I need to say Force India flavoured Adam Tierney then. I don't know what flavour Adam Tierney is. I'll make that quite clear now. Knut Martinsson in the AOR painted Ferrari is clear of his teammate Evan Imre, who has in turn broken away a bit from this man Andrew Langham's service then. So he's about a second there, but that damage on Evan's car is going to affect him, although he's still keeping pace with those around him, so he's not losing too much time. Ninth is now Stevie Chambers, He's got a little bit of a gap, half a second, to Yannick Nienhuis, who's really under pressure by Ronnie Gibbons, really trying to get back into the top 10. Henrik Andre is under pressure then by Christoph Weitz now. Christoph trying to do a bit of damage limitations, which are on at lap 8 of 11 now. As they come through turns 6 and 7. Oh yeah, you can see the damage on the back of Henrik's car there. If we switch to... That is the chase camera for Henrik. You can see Christoph Weitz's Ferrari-coloured... Tiger-coloured Ferrari just buzzing away. And again, looking back from Henrik Andre's car, that is what he has to contend with. And that's a lot of pressure to have to contend with from Christoph Weitz there.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, actually, I was going to say, because Christoph Weitz, I said he had to pass all of those cars, and we asked the question, can he do it? Well, because of that incident head, I mean, once he gets past Henrik, he would have done it within about 2 or 3 laps of us mentioning it, which is, well, I mean, that's quite impressive. Can he do it here? We'll go side by side with the chicane. That's very nice. That was very brave, but well played by both of them there to avoid further contact. That would have been rather messy at that kind of speed, but both cars through unscathed, and that is 12th position then to Christoph Weitz. Very nice indeed. There is Milo Linford, who has broken away from Roland Kutas in 14th position. And right behind him, Alexander Waldo in that Force India flavoured Ferrari, with Adam Hitchcock already behind. Sarah Dove at the back of this particular train, trying to recover from the time lost from that earlier incident. Nick Carroll has got the sole Ford of Kieran Frischloff for company in 18th position, as they just come through turns 3, 4 and 5. Silvio Hertz, who was involved in that particular incident as well, finds himself a little way back from Kieran. And there's Jansi, who's just lost a position, I believe, to Stuart Atkinson. Yes, indeed they have, as they also come through that 3, 4, 5. Jansi trying to keep up with Stuart then, but it seems to be struggling to get into a rhythm with that Ferrari. Looking at the lap times, it does seem that there's a bit of damage on car number 30, which could be affecting... I mean, how much does the damage affect the behaviour of the car, Phil? You'll know this better than I. Interestingly, the Ferrari, I don't think it's as big as amount of damage that you can get on an open wheeler, because the aero parts aren't as effective, but it still is going to be affecting the car no matter what. Some of the other bodywork damage from like the rear and the side isn't too bad actually. You can probably get away with that and not really suffer too much. Obviously, you don't want to get too much rear end damage because you've got the diffuser there, you've got the spoiler there. That could cause a lot of overs. But typically, yeah, it's not actually the worst thing out there. But yeah, it will affect you enough that you'd rather not have the damage.
It'll make you think about it as well. Obviously, these guys have practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. Obviously, particularly the tiger-coloured Ferraris here. It's quite clear that they've practiced quite a lot with their amazing pace that they have. But again, you get used to knowing where to brake, where to turn, and any alteration to that, and it makes you think that little bit more than you naturally would have to, and it can put some drivers off more than others if they have to start thinking more and doing things on the fly. Some drivers are able to do it fairly well, but some drivers struggle with that kind of on the fly computing, so to speak. So now
it is difficult. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, after you.
I was just going to agree with you.
I'd be careful doing this or that.
It's always risky.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, as my overlay has another hairy canary, who I was going to try and pick up this man, Henrik Andre, car number 33. Whoops, as he's gone slightly too deep. I think it was through the Schumacher races. He's chasing Milo Linford. Yep, as they come through turns 11 and 12. There in the background you see Roland Kutas and Alexander Waldo. So he's in fairly decent striking range of that 13th position. trying to keep the pressure up as much as possible, and doing fairly well doing so. Fairly consistent lap times, but Milo, I think, has had a little bit more consistency with regards to his particular lap times, which has helped him maintain that 13th position. Let's have a look back then. There's a 4-car train behind, headed by Roland Kutas. There it is in that particular shot. That is Roland Kutas, Alexander Waldo, Adam Hedgecock, and Sarah Dove in that particular train. Roland trying to get a breakaway. It's always difficult to try and close down on the ones in front whilst defending from those behind. It's a difficult juggling act to follow.
Yeah, that certainly is, and I don't think they've actually got much time to sort out that juggling mess, because I think there's a chance we might be on the last lap. Yeah.
We are indeed on the last lap, as we've got side by side here. Milo Linford and Honoric Andre as they come through 6 and 7, still side by side. Milo not letting that one go. Very nice. They come through. Oh, they're still side by side, and now Honoric has had to resume his position. I'm just going to check in with our leaders to see if they cross the line. Oh, look at that! They were actually weaving. I just managed to cut to Gianni Vecchio as he crosses the line to take this first race, and him and Patrick Honoric were swerving away as they were coming across the line. Who's in third position? I think, is it Lucas Dolza? I think it is. That's going to. Yes, and again my overlay is going nuts because it tells me there's 2 people in third. Silvio Hurt, I think, is a lap down. So again, this overlay is going a little bit crackers. So Lucas Dolza managed to round out the podium position, just fending off Gunnar Nienhaus. Adam Tierney has crossed the line. He was in 5th position. Knut Martinsen takes 6th with Andrew Langham Service. He's around there somewhere in 7th position. Stevie Chambers 8. Evan Emery 9. Yannick Nienhaus in 10th. Ronnie Gibbons doesn't quite make it into the top 10. That was a bit of a shame. Christoph Weitz has crossed the line. Mila Linford has also crossed the line. Trying to fly. There we go. We see this block here. Kutas, Waldo, Hedgecock, and Dove just crossing the line as well. Nick Carroll still out there. Oh, there goes there's Kieran Fishlock's Ferrari there. As we actually had an overhead shot of the line of the last few coming across the line. So there we go. That is your first race concluded. Wow, that went quick.
Yeah, it's funny. That 20 minutes didn't feel like 20 minutes. It felt like, well, less
10.
than.
Yeah. There was fighting up and down the field all the way through that particular race. There wasn't a particular lull there at all. Right then. Nice. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We will get the second race set up and underway. I will see if there's anything I can do about this overlay to try and make it a little bit more stable and useful. Stay with us. We will be back soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters, to the second round, round 10, here at the Nurburgring of the Apex Online Racing Ferrari and Ford Challenge Championship. Returning to the commentary box again is my lovely co-commentator, McFillin.
Yay!
As the warm-up has just ceased, so we should be getting our rolling start underway for our feature race. So this will be a reverse grid from the qualifying positions of the first round. Interesting, a few cars appearing in white. That's odd. Oh no, there we go. The my game just taking a little while to get the correct skins in place. So we will have the Tiger Ferraris near the back of the field. That various bang noise you can hear is people's, I think, people spawning in, or people just going through their gears for something to do on the start line.
Yeah, well, everyone wants something to do, don't they?
Well, absolutely.
Right, should I give a quick rundown of the order, perhaps?
Go for it.
Okay, well, as we all know, it is the reverse of the qualifying, so on the pole, on the front row, let's do it row by row.
Go for it.
On the front row we have Jancy, Jerry Lynn and Alexander Waldo. Row number 2, Stuart Atkinson and Adam Hedgecock, teammates. Row number 3, Kieran Fishlock and Roland Kutas.
We have no Kieran.
Hasn't appeared to the grid.
Neither has Gianni Vecchio, apparently. Oh, there's Gianni has appeared. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But Kieran hasn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a shame for Kieran. We're actually, as you see, this rolling start is actually almost towards the end already because it started actually down this straight. I thought it was going to start slightly further back.
Oh, yeah, that's so very. We don't appear to have John. John Roberts also hasn't started.
Yeah, that's it's a couple of people not on the grid. Patrick Heinrich's in the pit.
Oh dear.
That's a big name to be in the pit. And I think we are.
Yes, the safety car's pulled in, and Yancy Jerry Lynn has got on with the job and leads the field away.
Yeah, he really has. He's gone.
With Alexander Waldo getting into that second position. Although, oh dear, we've got some argy-bargy going on. Someone's in trouble. That's Sarah Dove having to go across the inside, go across the infield at turn 1. So not a great start. Oh no, we've got more trouble behind, I think. Oh goodness me! Massive incident there involving. I'm trying to figure out.
Anyway, Dennis Sandlauer.
Oh, Gianni Vecchio is facing the wrong way as well. Oh no! Yeah, Dennis Sandlauer's got a hell of a lot of damage, and Henrik Andre is already retired. So we have already had a retiree from this race. Not even half a lap done, and we have lost someone. So again, the overlay going completely bonkers for me. There we go. So now it's corrected itself. So Yancey continues to lead the way under a lot of pressure by Adam Hedgecock. Alexander Waldo right there with Ronan Kutas in 4th position, putting the pressure on as well. Look at that. I've got a lot of people side by side coming out of the hairpin, as we tend to have on the feature race. 45 minutes of racing, so as many laps as can be squeezed in. On that, look at the damage on Christoph Weitz's car. He's coming around Lawrence de Rijk. Lovely outside manoeuvre. Oh, goodness me, as he comes through turn 11. He claims that position, but that's a lot of damage on his car. Even he'll notice that one. So that is 12th position, I believe, for Christoph Weitz. As he continues, oh, goodness me, that's someone going right. Is that Soren Kreutz? No. Is that Roland Kutas? Yes, Roland Kutas has lost a few positions. It looks like he's going to lose another one. He does. Goodness me, as Lawrence de Rijk flying through on the inside. Oh, goodness me, that was Christoph Weitz going across the sand there. He's lost a few positions. He's now down to 14th. Oh no! Another major incident. Massive crash. Then that's someone actually on the barrier. Gianni Vecchio has made his way through that. I'm trying to figure. Is it Lucas de Rijk? No, he's underway.
That was a weird one. It looked like 2 cars just lost it. Yeah, it just looked like 2 cars just lost it on their own. Yannick and not sure who that was. In fact, it might be Stuart Atkinson. And then it's just all sort of Constantine a bit from there.
Yeah. Massive incident. We've got people I think having some lag issues as well, as people seem to be appearing and disappearing. Oh dear, massive crashes going on, lots of damage to a lot of cars. Patrick Heinrich is still going. I think he started from the pit lane, so he might have avoided a lot of the early incidents. He just works his way past Dennis Anlauer, who has a hell of a lot of damage to his car. Patrick's car looks okay, so I think he's managed to avoid a lot of the goings on. Gianni Vecchio managed to tiptoe his way around that particular last corner incident. He's right behind Adam Tierney. And we also see Evan Imre there sizing up a move on Silvio Hurt on the inside of the hairpin. Oh, and that's impact there as well. Another major incident then, as Evan Imre caught the inside of I think was it Silvio Hurt? Oh,
it was indeed.
Yeah,
it was Silvio,
and he's retired as well.
Gianni has also got into back, and Gianni gets some damage from that contact as well. So yeah, it's messy right now.
It's been an action-packed. Oh goodness me! You see Gianni get all out of shape coming through turn 11. He's managed to keep it under control, but he's keeping on, keeping right underneath Evan Imre's rear wing. Switches to the inside, goes through that turn 13. Looks like it's going to be a fairly straightforward move, but he is going to have the outside for the next corner. No, Evan does slot in behind. Stevie James is still running. He's a long way back. He's got the sole running forward. Kieran Fislock already behind him. Stevie's car looks okay, so maybe he's either been through the pits or he's managed to avoid a lot of the goings on. early on in the race, and we have some overtakings going on at the front. As Yancey looks like he's going to lose 2 positions there. Gunnar Nienhuis and Andrew Langford Service demoting Yancey down to 7th now, I think. Our new leader is actually Alexander Waldo. Whilst all the crashes were going on, we completely missed the lead change. He leads Adam Hedgecock, who leads Ronnie Gibbons. Oops, was someone going right? I think it was Soren Krutz going a little bit wide there. And then you had that 3-car battle that we just saw of Andrew Langham Service, Gunnar Nienhuis, and they've already managed to drop Yancey Jerry Lynn, who's under pressure from Knut Martinsen. So falling through the field now is Yancey Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit with the lock-ups there, and he doesn't quite seem to have the pace at the moment. Yeah, you just got to be careful. Sometimes you come across a slightly slower car and it can be a little bit off-putting into the braking zone. Looks like Knut might just get it done here. Is Yancey going to try and defend from this? He's on the inside of this car. It's very difficult to go around the outside here. Is he going to do it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, goodness me. I think Yancey was actually quite slow. Nearly caught Lucas Dolzer out as he's closed in on these two at an alarming rate of knots. That was nearly another accident there, but now Lucas Dolzer having a look at the outside of Yancey Jerry Lynn through turn 12. He's staying under the rear wing at the moment. Now jumping to the inside. We also see that's Adam Tierney at the bottom of the shot. And that looks like it's going to be a fairly straightforward overtaking manoeuvre for Lucas. He's just crept ahead. Oh, and that's impact then. Another impact.
Adam as well.
Oh my goodness me. Adam got caught up in that as well. And Stevie Chambers has got... who's that that's just blown past
That's
him?
Patrick Heinrich. He's
Oh,
the guy that started in the pit. Maybe that's a blind and remove starting from the pit with how careful he's been.
Absolutely. So Stevie, I say demoted to 12th, but he's gained a few positions, of course, with Yancey Jerry Lynn having that incident with Lucas Dolzer. I think Lucas has retired as a result of it. Yes, he has. So we have lost another from this race.
Indeed, we have. We can actually see the battle up front is closing down. Adam Hedgecock is right on the back of Volvo once again. Ronnie Gibbons not too far behind. Soren Cruz is caught up. Roland Kutas there, letting people through a lap down. You've got Gunnar on the back, and Andrew Langham Service also coming into contact. Coming close to these guys ahead as well. Knut Martin a little bit further back. We'll be looking to put the hammer down and try to catch these leaders and hopefully improve where he is. Gianni Vecchio not too far back, obviously got caught up in that incident a little bit earlier with Stilvio and Evan, but looks to still have some very good pace, so he's also going to be looking to catch up. But obviously Patrick Heinrich super quick right now, and already in 11th after starting the pits. That kind of shows the kind of shenanigans we've had going on, and we know that he's quick. I wouldn't put it past him catching these guys.
Alexander Waldo's got an opportunity for some breathing space here as Ronnie Gibbons is putting a lot of pressure on Adam Hedgecock for that second place. Waldo's got himself a tiny bit of gap there, 6/10, whereas Adam Hedgecock's really got to keep an eye on his rear mirror, as does Ronnie Gibbons. And Soren Krutz gets right in that slipstream as well. So as the four of them just go through turns 14 and 15, Ronnie is having to go on the inside of the final turn. Can he get the drive out of that last turn? It looks like he has got the job done. We'll just switch to the chase cam. No, Adam Hedgecock just managed to outdrive Ronnie Gibbons heading down to the first turn again. Very, very close. And it looks like Ronnie's sticking to that inside line. Can he make it work for him? And Adam has gone very wide, but that's a normal line through there. And that is second position to Ronnie Gibbs.
Yeah, that's Adam Hedgecock looked like he had it all covered and then just, got it a little bit, completely wrong, going super deep into turn 1. We've got the battle behind them. Soren versus Gunnar coming through turn 3 and 4. Can Gunnar get the position? He's going to be on the outside of here, but he's got to have a car just about ahead. And it looks like Soren's actually going to concede that position before they get to the corner. Probably a wise fight. You don't want to be losing too much time through this one, especially you don't want to go side by side through them. That's really difficult. And now Gunnar just got past Soren. He's now right on the back of Adam Hedgecock.
They are indeed. As they head down to the hairpin, Gunnar's going to take the inside line. Fairly straightforward move. I think Adam realising that he wasn't going to be able to defend that one, but Adam straight away has got to keep an eye on Soren Krutz behind. But now that gives Gunnar a chance to start chasing after Ronnie Gibbons ahead, just under a second. There's the view from Gunnar's nose. So yeah, so it's about 7/10 between him and the leading pair. So we could see that lead duo become a trio very, very soon.
I suspect it will be after the next couple of corners. It will be a trio. Yeah, Ronnie looks like he's got the pace on Alexander at the moment. He looks like he but he looks a tiny little bit impatient in the previous corner. But yeah, he looks like he's got pace. He doesn't need to be impatient. He knows that he's quicker. He doesn't need to try to do anything too risky. But
oh, what a move!
And there's Gunner
doing the same. Goodness me! So we switch to the chopper cam. Look at that. So in one corner, Alexander Waller lost 2 positions. Now Ronnie has got the lead, but he's got Gunnar Nierenhaus right behind him. That seems to be Ronnie Gibbons' favourite move, as he's pulled off a very clean overtaking manoeuvre on 2 consecutive laps then at that same point. He's now got to defend like mad from Gunnar Nierenhaus. To do it for 35 minutes, that's quite a tall ask, but hey, give it a crack, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tricky to hold on to someone who you know that probably has the pace on you. But I mean, usually I say that this car's quite difficult to overtake in, but well, a lot of these guys are proving that maybe that's not the case. But yeah, behind me actually have Gianni versus Knut. Looks like Gianni's caught up to Martinson and has passed Martinson already.
He has, yeah.
It looks like he's done that quite quickly. But both of these guys are closing on this fight up ahead. I think the two that are out in front at the moment, Gunnar and Ronnie, probably have the pace on these 3 behind, or 4 behind. But maybe Andrew Langham a little bit more cautious in his first race, not wanting to put too much risk in the moves, probably wisely. You don't want to make any first bad impressions as you join me. But no, he's doing a very strong job for his first couple of races. But yeah, he'll be interesting to see. And actually, you say Gianni was behind this group. He's right with them already.
Yeah.
He's been 3 corners.
He's driving like a man possessed. We have a few participants in the chat. Hello to you, gentlemen. It's a shame what happened in your respective incidents, but you're welcome in the chat. Look at that. That's Gianni. He's already taken Adam Hedgecock then just before the chicane. He is indeed... He's absolutely alive then, as that was Adam Langham service looking to try and get the inside line on Soren Krutz, but I think it's probably more defending from this man, Gianni Vecchio. And again, that's... Look at that, he's got damage on the car. He's lunging on the inside of turn 1, side by side, and that is another position to our race 1 winner.
I mean, at this rate, you wouldn't be too far off saying race 2 winner as well. He's right there. The leaders are only round the corner. So, he's going all guns blazing. And actually, another person that's impressive, as I said, coming from the pits, he's only a couple of corners behind these guys.
Absolutely. Is just looking through the lap times, I think. Yeah, he's got the... Oh no, he hasn't got the fastest lap. That's actually Patrick Heinrich that has the fastest lap again. Patrick is currently down in 9th position. So a lot of action going on up and down the field as we normally get then, as that is Andrew Langham service getting on the... oh no, beg your pardon, that's Soren Krutz getting on the outside, forcing Gianni Vecchio for an outside manoeuvre at the hairpin. Oh, goodness me. Firm but fair then. But it does look like Gianni Vecchio is... he's got him! Wow, before the Schumacher races, Gianni had a better drive out of the hairpin, and that is 4th position now to the Tiger Colour Ferrari.
No, that's actually 3rd. Is that 4th? Oh, of course it is 4th. You're right. You're absolutely right. I am silly right now. I thought they'd passed Waldo, but no, Waldo is just up ahead.
Waldo is indeed just up ahead.
Based on this pace, it probably won't be too long until Gianni has that redone. But yeah, no, Patrick. Oh, just keep on flipping back just to see what the progress is for these guys. And Patrick's there. He's there. He's with them.
And there is Patrick. I just flicked him myself. He's only half a tenth off the back of Adam Hedgecock. There's a number of positions. There's 9th to 4th that separates Patrick Heinrich and Gianni Vecchio, and that's only actually 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's these guys, these CRC guys, have some kind of serious pace, and that's Gianni down there.
Yeah,
Waldo, so
yeah, for 3rd. Gosh, Ruth, absolutely. And there's still another half an hour of this race to go. We aren't halfway through this race yet. Is anyone likely to pit, damage aside?
Yeah, everyone will have to make a pit stop at one point or the other. with a mandatory pit stop for fuel.
Aha!
No one will take tyres. Tyres are not something you have to really worry about in these cars at all. So yeah, we will see coming with fuel. We'll see relatively short stops, and then they'll be on their way. It'll be interesting to see if anyone takes their optional repair damage or optional damage repairs. I very much doubt people like Gianni will, because they feel the need to do that considering the pace that they are showing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of side by side. Oh, Soren Krutz didn't get a good drive through that hairpin. That caused Andrew Langen's service to get all out of kilter. Knut Martins is now right with him. Patrick Heinrich is right underneath Knut Martins' rear wing as well. So that is going to be another move then by the Technicolor Ferrari, and he's got him. That is Knut Martins demoted to 8th position before they get to turn 11. Goodness me, again another CMRC Ferrari is on the charge. And Gianni Vecchio is already with Ronnie Gibbons.
Wow. And he's going to get him here.
Oh my God.
Boom. I think I just heard over the chat. Ronnie was asking Gianni to wait for the... Ronnie was asking Gianni to wait for the main straight. Gianni did not. Gianni went for it straight away.
I will do this my way, he says. So.
And Patrick has Andrew Langham's service. He's just got past him in the final corner, although he now has to watch out for Andrew fighting back. Patrick's going to go defensive here into the first corner. I think he's probably going to be able to cover that off quite nicely, as ahead we have Waldo defending from Soren Krutz, who, yes, Waldo successfully defends that for the time being. Patrick defends his position after overtaking it on the previous corner. Knut right in there as well, looking to make up some positions as well. He's this is a nice little 5-car battle here.
Patrick is determined to get on the move, and he got a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 3. Held it pretty well, but he is absolutely pressing as hard as he can to get through this particular pack. He's wanted to get back on Gianni Vecchio's case, I suspect. Still just under 29 minutes to go, so he's got time, but he does not want to lose any. He knows how quick Gianni Vecchio is, and there he goes, and he's sliding up the moves on Soren Krutz. Decides not to do it on the outside of turn of the hairpin. Probably quite wise, but we've seen it done. Flash of the lights as well. That's not going to earn you anything. He's not obliged to get out of the way, but some drivers will obviously opt to jump out of the way of a clearly faster driver so that neither of them lose time, but there's no obligation to do so. This is for track position, as Soren Krutz has gone too deep. He was forced into that mistake by Patrick Heinrich. Patrick has now taken that 5th position and now is on Alexander Waldo's case.
Yeah, and Soren's got to be a little bit worried of Andrew coming down past him as well, because he's obviously been compromised on the exit. Coming up into the final chicane, is he going to do it? No, he can't go from that far back into the inside, he won't, and Knut Martin's now going to be on the case. But who's on the case? It's Patrick on Waldo.
Oh, flew through on the inside of the final turn. It looks like Soren Krutz are going to do the same. So again, Alexander Waldo finds himself being demoted to 2 positions in 1 turn. No, he just manages to fight off Soren Krutz for now. So wow, what a charge back by these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. We actually have our first pit stop of Valentina coming into the pits, or at least first that I saw. So that's we're interested to see where he comes out. He's a bit further back than these guys, but yeah, it's a good pace, so we'll see if he can catch up.
And there is the Force India colour Ferrari. Then is now down to 13th position for his stop. Then revving the engine. So how long is he going to be in for? That was. He's still in the pit lane, so that was a 10.4 second stop for him.
Yeah,
not long at all. So Gunnar Nienhaus leads the way as he's just come through the hairpin. Second, Gianni Vecchio, 5.2 down, has gained a little but not a massive amount, about 4/10 in the last lap. Ronnie Gibbons in third has himself about 2 seconds between himself and the charging Ferrari. A fastest lap holder, Patrick Heinrich. I believe Patrick held on to the fastest lap from the last race as well. Just behind them is the 4-car train of Alexander Waldo and Andrew Langham Service, Soren Krutz and Knut Martinsen. What a battle going on here, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th.
This is going to be good. This has been good. These guys have been fighting a bit. It actually looks like Andrew is obviously ahead of Soren now, because it was Soren that was pressed through.
No, it was, yeah.
And now it's Andrew. So Waldo's been trying to always do it deep there, Waldo. So he's going to have a little bit of a poor run out that final exit. Oh, Soren's into the pits.
Oh, that was Andrew Langham's service looking on the inside again at that final turn. That seems to be where Waldo's struggling on the exit of that final turn, and Andrew then pulling alongside. Is he going to get in before turn 1? He's going for the inside line. Can he slow it down? Can he make it stick? That's going to make him very, very deep into the first turn. Can Waldo do anything about it? No, that is 5th position to Andrew Langham's service, and that is Knut Martinsen right on Alexander Waldo's case.
Yeah, Waldo actually did a good job not letting both of them through. It's so easy to do with that head, but if you just run a little bit wide or you run too slow through the corner, when you're compromised by the run of another car. But yeah, he did a good job holding it there. But is he going to get past here? Not surely not into this corner.
It is doable, but as I say, the person being overtaken has got to be very aware that there's someone alongside them. And Knut Martinsen choosing discretion. Oops, he runs a little bit wide in the exit of 7. But keeps it going though. Alexander Waldo just keeping Knut Martinsen. That's actually bringing Evan Imre into this particular battle as well. So again, this train becoming a bit of a trio. That at the back of the shot there was Adam Hedgecock. He might be closing in on this lot as well. So of course, while these guys are fighting, they are slowing themselves down overall. So we'll see how that transpires. Did we say, yeah, Soren's been through the pits. He's now out in 11th position. Kieran, our sole Ford, is up into 10th position now. That Ford, I don't know why, but that Ford looks wider than the Ferrari to me. Like it's so Adam Hedgecock then is trying to close in on the battle that we've just been seeing. Oh, Knut Martinsen's so close, and Knut's in, and so's Evan.
Yeah, 2 teammates coming in at the same time. I just want to note something actually, so we might have to be wary of that for sometime later in the race. Is obviously the incident limit is set at 16, so you can get 16 one-times. Contact, well, not contacts, but one-time incidents. Mm-hmm. So off tracks and things like that. Gianni has to be very, very careful in second because he's currently sitting on 15.
Oh dear! And is a disqualification if he hits the 16 mark?
Yes, it is.
If he hits it or if he exceeds it?
If he hits it, he hits 16, he's out. So he cannot make a single mistake the rest of the race.
Well, I mean, he's got 6.4 seconds behind him to Patrick Heinrich. So he's got a big comfortable barrier at the moment. He knows he can just keep his pace going, not necessarily push it too hard. He just has to push a little bit quicker than Gunnar Nienhaus to close him in lap on lap on lap. But of course, we are looking at a 25 lap race according to my overlay here, of which we are on lap 12, so we're already approaching the halfway point. So again, correctly, that's gone incredibly quickly. Jump back to the 2 teammates. Evan has come out just behind of Knut, so they came in the same order that they came out of the pits the same order they came in, and that is 10th and 11th place for them.
Yeah, and they're actually behind Soren Krutz. I mean, they were behind anyway, but Soren Krutz seemed to have gapped them through the pit stop phase.
Quite a long ways, but yeah, 2.5 seconds. Sorry, 9.5 seconds between Soren and Kieran. But yeah, it's about 2.5 seconds separates Knut and Soren. Will the teammates fight each other, I wonder, or will Evan just stay line astern for now to allow themselves to catch up with the field?
I have absolutely no idea. I suspect there'll probably be a couple of laps where they do run side by side, run one behind the other. Sorry, not side by side. That was slow.
That would be awkward.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing to watch.
Yeah, it certainly would. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, or whether they have a switch of position just to allow the seemingly quicker car at the moment, Evan. But obviously, Knut was held up by a lot of cars, whereas Evan was sort of running up his own. So we don't actually know the outright pace of these guys right now. Obviously, Evan actually started the race ahead of Knut in this time, which means obviously Knut that had a quicker qualifying lap.
Mm-hmm. And there's not even a 10th in it between their best laps at the moment. So as I think, is Adam Hedgecock's in the pits? Yes, he is, and he's just finished his pit stop. Out he comes in. Just fuel for him. Obviously, he comes out in 11th. Yes, he does.
Yep, behind
Adam Tierney. as the pink Ferrari's just come through turn 1. He's got 6.5 seconds between himself and the battling teammates that we'll be watching. Here they are. So this is the closest battle we have on track at the moment. Gianni now sub 4 seconds or thereabouts to Gunnar Nienhaus, so keeping the pace. It's about 0.4 a lap quicker on average, but behind him, half a second quicker a lap seems to be this man, Patrick Heinrich. So Gianni, whilst probably, would he be mindful of the fact that he's close to the penalty limit?
Yeah, he will know. He'll know where he is relative to that. But the question is, does he go easier on himself? Does he keep going harder as he can? I mean, we saw him running quite a bit quicker lap times in the first race than what we see now. So I do wonder if he is already keeping that line. I mean, he's still quicker than the car ahead, so he's probably doing everything he rightly needs to do correctly right now. He's sort of probably a little bit off his maximum. He knows he's got a big gap to the car behind, even though it is actually closing relatively quickly. I mean, Patrick has got so many more. I mean, this is the pace that we were expecting both of them to be running. Gianni's a bit off that. I don't think he's been caught up in any actual crash. Oh no, or has he?
Well, he does have a rearranged front.
Of course he did. Yes.
Yeah, he has a rearranged front. Does Gianni? So
yeah,
that's
of course with Evan and Sylvia.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I'd forgotten as well. So yeah, that is. I mean, Patrick. My God, he was 0.02 of a second off the race best that last time around. So he is pushing hard to get back up to the front and doing a good job. He's only got just shy of 9 seconds between himself and this man Gunnar Nienhaus for the race lead. But the top
the race lead.
Yeah,
from the pits.
Incredible stuff. But these guys haven't pitted yet, of course. Remember?
No.
So of course, Patrick started from the pits. It's showing that Patrick's been through the pits once. He started there. So yeah, that is actually correct. The lead person that has pitted, I believe, is Soren Krutz, currently in 7th position.
That is correct. Yeah, he's putting on a very solid performance in this race. We know that he's been pretty strong in these cars. He's a very, very solid midfield runner. So with all the incidents that have been going on, it's a good chance to be putting himself in a really good position. Obviously, we know he was around the area of Andrew and Alexander. Andrew's actually pulled himself away from this Waldo train. I say Waldo train, it's no train because no one's with him. But that fight that was there, I think Andrew's probably had the pace to pull away from it because everyone that he was fighting is pitted. So he's so when these guys come in, you expect a couple of them to be around where Soren is, and perhaps a little bit further back as well. And then you probably would suggest that both Andrew and Ronnie, when they come in, will be ahead, and obviously the top guys will be the front three again.
That would be the expected, as Andrew is closing in on 4th place. Ronnie Gibbons only by a couple of tenths that last time around, still 2.5 seconds between the pair of them, so some way to go for them, as we are currently on lap 15 of 25, so we have gone over the halfway stage. So a lot of racing still going on. The closest pair is still these two. It is the teammates. Knut now beginning to break away a bit from Evan, half a second near enough that last time around, but Evan's still sticking with Knut as best he can. Evan's actually got the slightly quicker lap of the two now, as far as best laps are concerned, 53.2 against 53.3, so 0.03 of a second is all that separates that between those two. Fastest lap still remains with Patrick Heinrich, again the only man to get under 151. With the damage on Gianni Vecchio's car, it is unlikely that he's going to be doing that, but on they push nonetheless. As 5 seconds then separates Patrick from Gianni, as less than 8 seconds then separates Patrick from the lead. So they could go to the penultimate lap before pitting, could they not, Phil?
Yeah, they are allowed. I suggest that the fuel will probably run out before they can make it to that.
So it's unlikely that anyone's going to try it.
I would be very surprised if they did.
But you never know. It's been a rather interesting race up to this point, although the field now fairly spread out. But again, if we look at the pit counts, with the exception of Patrick, as the pit count here is slightly skewed because he started in the pits. Everyone from 7th downwards has pitted, so we still await to see Alexander Waldo, Andrew Langham Service, Ronnie Gibbons, Patrick Heinrich, Gianni Vecchio and Gunnar Nienhaus for their pit stops. So that will of course shuffle up the order to a degree. Soren then is trying to, he's got a big gap. There's 22 seconds between himself and Alexander Waldo, but right behind him, position wise, is Knut Martinsen, but there is a back marker in the middle of that, and I believe that is, no, it's not Stevie Chambers. He's in the pits. I think he's retired. It's not, that's Roland Krutz. So that's 15th position from Roland Krutz. Sorry, mixing up driver names now. That's Roland Kutas. Beg your pardon. So and he is getting out of the way of those coming through, and also Yunzi Jerry Lin is a lap down from the leaders as well. But getting up caught up with the back markers. Whilst back markers doing what they can to obey the blue flags, they can't vanish, but equally they're not obliged to throw themselves into the dust, so that it will inevitably hold up people trying to get through the pack. That has put a bit of distance between Evan and Knut as a result.
Oh, speaking of the pack, it says the back gun near house is in the pits. Near house. I had it right for the second time. So that's interesting. The leader is into the pits before the guys chasing reach him. You
would generally expect the chasers to come in sooner to do an undercut, but Gunnar deciding. Because does people decide their own starting fuel? Do they?
Yeah. What usually happens is you put in the max so that you can go as far as you can, because that opens up the strategy options to you. But yeah, you can obviously choose when to pit, and you do occasionally get people that will know that they're going to pit earlier and put in less fuel just so that they are quicker at the early stages. But yeah, usually it's a full fuel type situation, and yeah, so it's going to come out. It comes out
third,
just ahead of Waldo.
Yeah, third positions.
Obviously Waldo not pitted yet, so that's that was pretty, so that's good actually. That's pretty much exactly what we're going to need to come out into clean air.
So Patrick continues to reel in Gianni Vecchio, 4/10 on that last lap. Only 4.5 seconds then separates the top two. Where is Mr. Vecchio? There he is. He is coming up behind. Who is that? Is that Dennis Anlauer? It is. That's Dennis Anlauer that he's coming up behind then. So a very heavily damaged Ferrari for number 85. And Dennis Anlauer jumps out of the way of race leader Gianni, as you would expect him to do. Will they get penalised for too many blue flags?
No. On iRacing, the blue flags are advisory. Although, so they won't get an in-game penalty, but depending on the rule set of the situation, I believe in here we do have our own personal rules where you have to move out of the way for the blue flags, and obviously if someone brings you up, you can get penalised for that. But typically we don't see that. We always see the blue flag runners getting out of the way rather nicely, which is what we want.
No, absolutely.
So
yeah.
I'm just having a look here. I just noticed I saw Ronnie Gibbons and his teammate coming into the pits. Ronnie has come out behind Soren, so the thought that he had a big enough gap advantage to come out ahead, but no, in fact he has come out behind Soren and he's not too far ahead of Knut Martin. Andrew has come out behind Knut, and Evan has fallen a little bit back from his teammate, so we've rejoined this battle in a slightly different order.
Yeah, same cars, different pecking order. Oh, hello, that's Andrew Langham's Service looking at the inside of Knut Martin. Again, that last corner dive that we saw Ronnie Gibbons do quite well earlier on, and Knut just manages to defend that position. And that car in the background is a Yancy Jerry Lin, who is a lap down from this particular lot. And again, Andrew Langham Service looking at the inside, this time at turn 1, decides better of that one. So really trying to pressure for their 7th position.
Yeah. Waldo, I don't know if he's had some kind of issue in the pits, but he's fallen really far back. Because obviously he was with this fight, but he's now even behind his teammates. So
he was actually only stationary for 8.6 seconds. Yeah, it was actually a pretty short stop for Waldo.
Maybe just the pace that he's running hasn't been super hot, but that's maybe potentially he had an interesting pit entry.
Either way, I mean his last lap was 2 minutes, which would be consistent with a pit lap, but or he's made a mistake somewhere. And again, we don't know when his pit lap was. We didn't see it. Let's jump back up to this battle for 6th position. Oh, and again, that's Andrew Langham Service and Knut Madsen side by side. And again, they're having to remain in the positions they were. They're coming through. Oh, Andrew Langham Service is really determined. Knut is defending for everything he's got. He's got 5 laps. Hang on to it. He's very deep into that turn 11, but manages to hang on to it. Let's go to...
if this was anyone else, I think if there's anyone else other than Andrew, I don't think he would be fighting as hard. I mean, Andrew, that is. But he's fighting probably hard because it's obviously his teammate that's ahead of Knut Madsen. So I suspect there's probably a little bit of trying to get past and helping his teammate doing it at the same time. But obviously Knut's done a very good job defending, and he's actually probably pulled away a little bit. There's a couple of mistakes from Andrew into those corners, but who I'm really impressed with is Soren Krutz. He's done a very solid stint that's brought him out ahead of all of these guys. It's very impressive.
Indeed. So looking back from Soren Krutz, you can see that three-way battle. Yeah, Knut's definitely managed to get himself a bit of distance between himself and Andrew Langham Service. I think Andrew had a terrible run through that final corner that lost him a lot of time. That's then going to allow Knut to start chasing after Ronnie Gibbons. Also, another pending battle is this one for second. It's Gunnar Nienhaus and Patrick Heinrich. So Gunnar, we know, has been through the pits, and as has the... I think everybody's been through the pits now. I'm just going to...
So, yes, I think you might be right, which means Gunnar has dropped those 2 positions. So, has he had a poor lap at some point, or have these guys just been superiorly quick? I think it might be a combination, a little bit of both.
Well, indeed, but looking at the last laps, actually, Gianni had a 1:55.3, Patrick with 1:54.7, and Gunnar 1:53.5. So, of the top 3, actually, Gunnar was the quicker of the 3. Actually, Soren Krutz behind was 53.0, albeit 24 seconds down the road. So, it could be that the leaders aren't quite getting back. Oh dear, 2:17. There's been a problem with the top 2, Gianni and...
That's their pit laps.
That must be.
This is what I mean, like, because it's sort of different because of where they are down the pit. The out lap and the in lap are going to be slightly different. So if you add the 53 and the 21 of Gunnar, that's about the same as the 20, as the 16 and the 54. Essentially, obviously, a lot slower. So I think perhaps there was... Well, we'll see on this out lap, because we'll have to wait and see what these laps are from the 2 Sim-RC boys.
Indeed, but they have got a charging Gunnar Nienhaus right with them then. So actually Patrick had a blistering pit stop. 6.9 seconds was how long he was stationary for. Absolutely stunning. And Stevie, hello to you. What happened? We didn't really see what caused you to park in the pits. What's going on, sir? You're welcome in the stream, of course, but what happened? So Gunnar then 1:51.9, just a couple of tenths off his best. He's not too far off the pace of the leaders. But we'll see how he fares in the closing laps. Then we have got 5 laps to go. We're on lap 20 of 24 here at the Nurburgring. Another battle is still looming. There it is. It's Knut Madsen and Ronnie Gibbons for 5th position. Soren Krutz finds himself completely in no man's land. 2.5 seconds at least ahead of this battle, and 25 seconds down the road from Gunnar Nienhaus. So Knut is really pressuring hard for that 5th place, but he has got to keep half an eye on Andrew Langham Service right behind him. He is right in a teammate sandwich there, and his own teammate Evan Imre is there. You see in the back of the shot, 2.5 seconds down the road from here. So Knut can't call upon his teammate to get involved, unless of course someone makes a mistake.
Yeah, he really wants that though. He really could use with his teammate right now being in the sandwich. I mean, they could just start teaming up. Force Knut a little bit off the line that he'd like to be, and then sneak up the inside and the outside. Oh, he's going the outside here at this shame. Surely not. Sorry, here. He's probably going to try and set him up for the exit. Was there a little bit of contact between them?
It looked like it, yeah.
I think it might have just got away with it. So now he's going to try and get a better exit from this final corner. It looks like he's on a slightly better line, but will he have a run? He's going to be quite close down the pit straight. He's going to have a lot of slipstream here. Can he get this move down the tunnel? Will Ronnie defend? He's sort of in the middle of the track right now. He goes to the right now. So Knut Martinson's going to be forced to go to the outside now. This is where he's got to be careful with the teammate of Ronnie behind. Looks like he's fending him off well, and he's still putting the pressure on Ronnie ahead.
Goodness me. So this battle continues then. We're on lap 21 of 24. Closing stages of the race now. Oh, goodness me. Oh, that's impact between Andrew Langham Service and Knut Martinson. But the positions remain the same. That is going to allow Ronnie a bit of breathing space. They didn't lose too much time. But it was still... They're still underway. It doesn't look like any particular damage was caused by that small nudge there, so Knut should be able to get back on Ronnie's case before long, but there is not much of this race left to go.
Yeah, that was exactly the sort of thing that I was talking about. Just trying to force the other car to go into different lines. Obviously, by you defending, they go to the outside. That leaves a gap on the inside. It's probably not enough of a gap for Andrew to try and put his nose there, but it didn't end up in too much tears in the end. There was only a tiny contact, but that's exactly the sort of thing that I was talking about. That's why he really needs his teammate up here just to bring that pressure off the car behind, so he can attempt sort of these other, driving into the pieces of the track to try and get that move done. He needs his teammate just to bring the pressure off so that he can actually put his car in position without thinking about the car behind. Although now, again, we go up into this set of corners. Is he going to attempt this again? I mean, he's just, again, is this to the outside? Is he going to get it done? Oh, he's trying to break it. He's trying to break deep, but he's not going to get it there.
Well defended again by Ronnie Gibbons. That's compromised Knut Martinson, and that's Andrew Langham Service. And look at the inside again. Contact between the two. And Knut is going to get back on the inside of Andrew Langham Service. Now Evan Imre's right in there. He's possibly going to get that position from the blue and white Ferrari as well. Is he going to get the position from his teammate? No, decides not to go for that one. And Evan this time backs out of it. So still a three-way battle. But this time it's a different pair of teammates as Knut's gone too deep into turn one. They're going to compromise him through two. But Andrew couldn't turn any tighter in without risk of impact. So now the teammates have changed. Now Knut has got a bit of support from his teammate. We'll see if he's able to break away from Andrew Langham Service as a result of it.
Yeah, just so one of those ones into that final corner. It was probably a bit too ambitious from Andrew trying to attempt that, because the guy is always going to turn into that corner. You sort of attempting from such a far back and late position and then you just run a little bit wide, went a little deep, and the contact was made. So yeah, these guys, occasionally there's a little bit of argy-bargy between the guys. Probably need to calm down just a little bit. I know that the race is almost over. There's only a few more laps, but just got to be a bit careful.
Oh, as Andrew lagged and disappeared through the floor. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I just got a little bit worried there.
Or maybe he was deciding to do an underneath, rather literally.
Oh, well, yeah. So that would certainly work if you could get it to. Well, if you could get it to work, that would be very impressive.
Oh, well, absolutely.
So what are we on to that?
We are 2 to go. We're on 23 of 24. Gianni Vecchio leads the way by 1.6 over this man, Patrick Heinrich. Yeah. 6/10 gone in that last lap. It's not going to be quite enough without a mistake from Gianni Vecchio for Patrick to take this one. 3.2 down the road is this man, got on the in-house, looking secure in that third position. 28 seconds down the road is Soren Krutz. He's just crossed the line to start his penultimate lap. Back with this battle now. Ronnie Gibbons really has broken away. 3 seconds nearer, damn it, to Knut Martinson after the last impact between him and Andrew Langham Service, who stays with Knut Martinson. 8th position is Evan Ray. As Andrew looks on the inside yet again at turn 1.
I think he was more trying to put the scare tactics on there, just letting you know that he is still there. He will, still something to worry about, and probably just trying to pressure him into a mistake. But yeah, he is closing up. In these first few corners, it looks like he does have the pace advantage, but it looks like Knut is matching him, and if not slightly faster in the later stages of the lap. So that's good for him, at least with obviously the main opportunities to overtake being into the turn 1 hairpin.
Indeed. I wanted to summarise who else is further down the field, but I daren't look away from this particular battle, as it's the closest one we have closer to the front of the field. Again, Evan Imre's has fallen a little way off the back of this, so that's relieved the pressure from Andrew Langham Service then, as they now come up through the Schumacher S's again for the penultimate time. And oh dear, terrible run through those corners for Andrew Langham Service. That's allowed Knut Martinson to break away, and that's looking from the back of Knut's car as they come through 11 and 12. You can see Evan is lurking in the background. If Andrew makes another mistake, that's going to put him right in the clutches of Evan Imre. That will free up Knut Munson, but there's too much of a gap between him and Ronnie Gibbons. There's 2.3 between 5th and 6th position now, so Ronnie Gibbons, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, looks fairly sure to be in that position come the end of the race. We are on our final lap then. Those are your two leaders. Gianni Vecchio leads Patrick Heinrich by just shy of a second. But again, unless Gianni makes a mistake, he looks fairly sure to keep this one to himself. Got two battles in, one for the lead and a very close one. There it is between Knut Martinsen and Andrew Langham Service for that 6th position. Let's keep an eye on our leaders then as they come through turns 6 and 7. No, beg your pardon, that's the hairpin they've just come through. So Patrick Heinrich doesn't look like he's going to be able to close in enough to challenge for the lead, but he is keeping the pressure on. Gianni's definitely going to know he's there and keep him under, keep Patrick well and truly under monitor. Oh, that's a back marker. That's just unfortunate timing there, but that's would have lost Patrick some time. That's exactly what Gianni would have wanted. And there is the gap between the two. Oh, wrong camera. There we go. That's the gap between the two from the gearbox of Gianni, and that's now over a second. That's going to be too much for Patrick to close down, unless, of course, Gianni makes a mistake in these last few corners. He's just come through 14-15. Final turn. And that is going to be a double win for the Tiger Ferrari. Flash of the lights, big wiggle, and that is your race winner, Gianni Vecchio, with second of Patrick Heinrich. Third across the line, there he is Gunnar Nierenhaus. Very nicely done indeed.
I mean, that's the first double winner we've had.
Wow.
So that's very, very impressive.
Patrick to start from the pit lane and still get second by less than a second. Incredible performance.
Yeah, Soren will come home 4th, and it looks like Ronnie will have 5th, but it's obviously 6th and 7th. It's still going on. Andrew not far behind Martinsen, and this is the final corner where he looks like he's been quite powerful into the final corner. Look, no, he's not going to get it done there. Is he going to have a run? Yeah, well, he looks good on the throttle. That's a really good run, but I think the line comes too quickly.
I think that they've just crossed it, yep. So that is 6th position then for Knut Martinsen, 7th for Andrew Langham Service, 8th was this man Evan Imre, 9th Adam Tierney just crossed the line there in the Force India flavoured Ferrari and draws to a stop. Alexander Waldo holds on to 10th position in his pink Ferrari then. And next down the road is this man Adam Hedgecock. He's just coming through 14 and 15. So down to the line. And he is very much on his own then. And that is 11th position to him. Next down the road is the sole Ford of Kieran Fishlock then. It has not been a day for the Fords, unfortunately.
Ford.
Singular. So that is across the line, and everyone else is at least a lap down. So Kieran, the last of the finishers, and that is your finishing order then as you see them on screen. So Gianni Vecchio taking the win again, Patrick Heinrich 2, Gunnar Nierenhaus 3, Soren Kurtz 4, Ronnie Gibbons 5, Knut Martinsen 6, Andrew Langham 7th, Andrew Langham Service 7th, Evan Imre 8th, Adam Tierney 9, and Alexander Waldo rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, that's it's been a race. Looked like there were a few incidents towards the beginning of the race. Quite a few of them. A lot of people not finishing the race, and quite a few laps down as well. So that's a shame to see. We don't like to see that, but at the same time, there was some great racing out there between some of the guys as well, which is what we want to see. We got a lot of it on camera, so yeah, it's been an interesting one.
And some donuts there from Gianni Vecchio. Why the devil not? And that concludes this evening's race, this evening's rounds. I would just like to thank all our drivers for taking part. It's a shame that we've had the incidents we've had, but that is the nature of the beast. I would like to thank, of course, the man, the legend, that is Mr. McFillin, joining me in the commentary box once again.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
Always a pleasure, and we will see you right here next time for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.